What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be harvesting tomatoes, and I'll also give you tips that can be used to grow successful tomatoes. Now, tomatoes, as we all know, can be used in the kitchen to make many different dishes. Also, some of you like tomatoes on your sandwiches. You know, you like them in your soups. You can make a nice tomato soup, which I like to make pretty often. You can do chilies, you can do spaghettis, you can do all different types of pastas uh, with tomatoes. Now, the reason why I like to grow my own tomatoes is because I know what's going into my produce. I don't like to spray pesticides, so this is a pesticide-free garden that I have here, non-GMO. Uh, preservatives. I like to stay away from that as much as possible as well, and I like to stick to fresh produce. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, now when it comes to growing tomatoes, you want to make sure you get a hybrid that is known to produce, nice tomatoes. And the hybrid that I have here, I'm growing, is 4th of July. So with this plant, it'll give you everything you need. So one plant will give you, hundreds of tomatoes, but also you'll you'll have a plant that'll survive. Even if it gets diseased, it'll still survive. And another tip is planting your tomatoes at the right time. Also depends on your zone. So that means if you're in a particular zone that's cold like I am, for example, I live in Indiana, and I planted my starter baby plants in May. All right. So May 15th is when I got these outside because I wanted to make sure that, my plants would be able to last, and I wanted to ensure that there wasn't going to be any more frost coming. I don't want to give the plants too much water. Um, also, you want to keep an eye on your plants. So you want to make sure there aren't any pests destroying the plants. So it's a regular job, but it's fun and it's also rewarding. So you want to keep an eye on your plants. Come out, check them daily, make sure everything is going good with them. It's not I plant it and I throw it outside and I just don't take care of it. So you have to really be consistent. And another tip is to, you want to pick a disease resistant hybrid. I know I talked about hybrids, but picking a hybrid that's disease resistant is a plus. And you just want to make sure you do your research on that. All right. And typically, what I like to do is grow disease resistant tomato plants. But this 4th of July hybrid, you can see it has some disease. But the one thing about this plant is even when it gets disease, it's still going to produce. So this is why this is one of my favorite tomato plants. So you can see we've got a nice harvest going here and we're still going. And some of you want to know, when's the right time to harvest? Well, for me, I like for my tomatoes to start ripening, and then I like to pick them. Some people like them green, they like to fry them. So it all just depends on, how you like your tomatoes. Let's see, we've got more back here. You get to them. Grab these cherry tomatoes. And cherry tomatoes are really good to grow. They're usually one of the more disease resistant tomato plants. Some of you are probably wondering, what does this disease resistant mean? So as you can see, the leaves are yellow here. They've got discoloration, and that means there's some sort of disease going on. But the reason why this has happened is because it's been raining a lot and the water has been splashing from the surface onto the plant. And tomato plants do not like water just sitting on the leaves, and especially not dirty water. Also, when it comes to the weather, you'll see some tomatoes split open like this. All right. And so let's go to the bottom. This happens when, the weather makes drastic changes, or the winds are high, or, the rain is pretty severe. And sometimes your plant can lack calcium as well. So that means you may have to give it some sort of nutrient so it can continue to carry on and produce for you. See, I've got another cage of cherry tomatoes here. A lot of them look green, but I see a few tomatoes ripening up. You can see some of them have fallen and started to rot out. So let's see what else we've got here. It's a nice one there. Nice cherry tomato. See if I can find a few around the other side here. Looks like here's one here. That one's looking pretty good. Let's see. Got another tomato plant over here. I mean, I've got them everywhere. More cherry tomatoes. So let's go ahead and grab these. Grab that one too. Well, this is what we've got today. We've got an entire bowl full of tomatoes, and what I'm probably going to do today is make my own spaghetti sauce, and I'll probably give the rest of the tomatoes to family here. So that's what we got. So maybe we can weigh this and see how many pounds this is. All right, so I've got my scale powered on. Place this on here. Let's see, we've got 5 pounds and looks like about 8 ounces of tomatoes. So I'd say that's a pretty good harvest for a small garden. All right, guys, so that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.